There's no success without passion.
There's no passion without support.
There's no support without a team.
And there's no team without you.
Tonight we come together as a team for kids with cancer.
This past week, the Tom Coughlin Jay Fund held its annual gala, but with a twist. The virtual event was on Facebook Live for everyone to watch. Jacksonville responded, wanted to give you an update. They raised almost $500,000. That's outstanding for area families whose children are battling cancer. We appreciate you being there. You know, time is often described as the ongoing sequence of events taking place. There are many basic units of time, right? There are seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years. But depending on one's age, each unit of time can take on greater significance. We have the story tonight of 2 decades of time, a charity, and a very special young man.
20 years ago. Certainly a different time in the life of Rudy Wells.
Woke up, I was very sick, I was throwing up, had bruises everywhere, and from that point we knew something was seriously wrong.
Right.
So we went to my pediatrician, she told us to go straight to Wolfson's, and we went there, and I remember walking in the hospital and I passed out.
The diagnosis, something no parent ever would want to hear, leukemia. Even 2 decades ago, it's something a 6-year-old never forgets.
I remember everything that happened that day. Going in the hospital, I remember sitting in the hospital room, getting treatments, losing my hair, being very sick while I was in the hospital.
That hospital, Wolfson Children's Hospital, those doctors still working there today. And a charity called the Jay Fund stopped by and wanted to help Rudy and his family. The 6-year-old remembers well a group that helped him just be a kid.
They always had socials for us, ice cream socials, meeting the Jags players, getting signed items from the Jags players and Tom Coughlin, and going to the Jaguar games was such a fun and a rewarding experience.
But there was something else for Rudy, something about the Jay Fund and the way those doctors, nurses, and staff treated him that stayed with him.
I remember thinking back that I wanted to go back and help these children and be an inspiration for them. And through my undergrad career and then finally getting to medical school, I really felt like that was where I needed to be.
That's right. It took Rudy Wells 2 years to beat leukemia. It's taken him the rest of his life to get back to where he spent some of his 6- and 7-year-old days at Wolfson's. You see, Rudy Wells went from 6-year-old with leukemia to 26-year-old medical school graduate. He's now Dr. Rudy Wells, and guess where he will do his residency?
I'm doing my residency at Wolfson's Children's Hospital.
Which is where you were treated.
Which is where I was treated when I was a kid.
The Jay Fund in Wolfson's helped Rudy and his family. Dr. Wells even worked for a year for the Jay Fund, and the Jay Fund rewarded him with scholarships. He'll now be side by side with many of those folks who took care of him 20 years ago.
Through medical school, you know, you rotate through all the services, and I truly love pediatrics. And the kids are so fun and uplifting, and they have such great spirits, and they bounce back so fast. And, you know, working with kids, working with the Jay Fund, you know, seeing the hem-onc doctors and personally knowing them and see what they do, it all just seemed to mesh well with me and my personality and my goals.
Goals that include paying it forward.
The Jay Fund is, to me, their family. You know, from being a kid to all the way through now where I'm in medical school, we've had a personal relationship together.
A lifelong friend and a labor of love. Rudy Wells couldn't think of any better way to spend his time.
Good stuff. Dr. Wells will begin his work at Wolfson Children's Hospital beginning in July. We wish him nothing but the best.
Action Sports Jax Primetime, Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.